to the 5. It's not unusual for this administration to scare the American people into supporting their agenda, and this comes from Joe Biden this time. He was in Philadelphia pushing the president's jobs plan when he gave this extreme reason to pass the bill. Take a listen.
It's not temporary. When that 911 call comes in and a woman's being raped, the cop shows up in time to prevent the rape. It's not temporary to that woman. It's not temporary to the guy whose store is being held up and there's a gun pointed at his head. If the cop shows up and he's not killed, that's not temporary. Or I wish they had some notion what it's like to be on the other side of a gun. Or a 200-pound man standing over you telling you to submit. Folks, it matters. It matters.
So weird.
You want to know something? You're right, Kim. What is he doing?
No, what is he doing? And
really,
how is it okay?
Really
Why are we all, like, everyone's ignoring
the Jesus
it?
out of people?
Well, and it's inappropriate, and he's making that comparison. I mean, it's just...
He didn't seem like himself.
No, he seems sort of more out there than normal. I don't know how that's an asset, by the way, going into re-election, but whatever.
It was like a tortured metaphor.
Like
it was. He actually made me look good.
Right. With the eyes, especially.
Yes.
But really,
the other thing
honestly,
that's strange is that crime has gone down on their watch. While the recession has continued, gotten worse, crime has actually gone down. And sociologists and criminologists really don't know why that could be. But so it doesn't even make sense what he's talking about.
It's using scare tactics, the usual tactic. Remember the ad where they're pushing the old people over the cliff? Mm-hmm. This is just another form of that. Really, anyone worried that someone was going to fire cops and firemen?
Yes, sure. And let me just say this unequivocally, without any question. I agree with every word that he just said. Every word, seriously agree with it. And I'll tell you why. Because, wait a second, in this jobs bill, there is money to maintain or hire police in a lot of communities around this country. And if you don't have enough cops to handle these things, then something like that could happen. And it's not funny.
Come on, Greg.
It's not funny.
Does anyone believe that hiring of cops and firemen is going to go down if we don't pass this bill?
You could argue that Biden actually made the world more dangerous by telling people that there are going to be less cops out there.
There will be less cops. That's just a fact. That's a bottom line fact.
But the whole point
that without this bill, there'll be less police.
It's not a bottom line fact. You can't, Bob, you can't just come out and say it's a bottom line fact.
In the bill, it has bills to hire police and first responders and teachers or to keep their jobs. Now, that's a fact.
And the insinuation is if you don't pass that bill, something's going to happen.
That is right. That is right.
More dangerous?
That is right. It tells you what the Republicans are willing to do to beat Barack Obama. They're willing to do anything.
This is not why he first, when they first introduced the bill, he said he was going to introduce a bill that would help stimulate and create jobs. They did not say, we are going to take taxpayer money in order to help protect police officers and teachers from losing their jobs.
Sure he did.
No, they didn't.
Of course he did.
No, they have evolved.
No, now
and also, guys, can we throw this out there? $4 billion of the $447 billion, at least in the original plan, was earmarked for cops and firemen. 1%. 1 little percent.
That 1% is a lot of money. And
listen,
can we talk about
Mitch McConnell? Very important story here.
I just want to say something really quick. This is the same thing that they use, the same tactic over and over. How many times have you heard this? They scare you about there's going to be public safety problems, there's not going to be cops, you're not going to have teachers, no firemen, all the same thing. Just like they did with Obamacare and pushing Granny over the cliff. It's the same thing. It's like Halloween's Fright Night every time.
Let me tell you anything. When I was doing campaigns, we would scare every senior citizen we could that Social Security was going, and then my mother used to call me and say, not getting more Social Security. I said, Mom, you go vote Democratic on Tuesday with your friends, you'll have Social Security.
You scare your own mother.
All right, listen, guys, this is a huge story. This came out today from the U.S. Census. Turns out that Washington, D.C. now, Dana, is the wealthiest suburb in America right now. Because, the highest metropolitan area.
The surrounding areas of which...
the average federal employee, $126,000 all in. The average across America, all in median income, $50,000. More than double.
What's that got to do with what we're talking about?
Because here's what it has to do. Go ahead, Dana.
Well,
give me this number right there.
What's interesting is that today on the floor of the Senate, U.S. Majority Leader of the Senate, Harry Reid, said that the public sector is suffering much more than the private sector, and this is just so obvious that they're shedding all of these jobs. Now we get this today that it's not only that the federal government has 170,000 employees, let's just say that that's fine. Average salary is $126,000. This is where the anger starts to come in. And if Occupy Wall Street should take their show on the road down to Washington,
but listen,
D.C.
talk about leaders, minority leader, the wonderful Mitch McConnell, who's so full of stuff that I can't believe it. Here's the guy who says he attacks Obama for being on the road with his bus. on his jobs tour. In the meantime, and he says that he's politicizing the whole jobs issue. In the meantime, this is the same Mitch McConnell who said 2 years ago on the record, my only job is to defeat Barack Obama for a second term.
You know what? He didn't say that 2 years
But
ago.
McConnell ought to shut his mouth and go to work.
This is something that the Democrats have started to do, and this is not...
Are you defending McConnell?
Yes, I am. And Mitch McConnell did not say that 2 years ago.
He did too.
He said it in December of 2010.
Well, he said it, didn't he?
After 2 years of Obama.
Did he say it? Did he not, or did he say it?
He said that his job is to defeat
the minority
Obama.
leader of the Senate says that's his job, is to defeat the President of the United States.
But see, the Democrats in the White House have started to say that McConnell said that at the beginning of President Obama's presidency.
It was closer than I think.
No, it wasn't. It was December of 2010. I looked it up
I'm not
last
so
week.
sure about
Greg,
that.
let me ask you. Bob points
Rain
out,
Man
we don't have a lot of
looked it
time, but this bus tour, Obama calls it official.
It's a campaign. It's a campaign tour.
Would Michelle Obama be meeting him if it was official presidential business in Virginia?
No, it's clearly a campaign tour. And why does everybody drink sweet tea on the road?
And let me just
Every politician drinks. Is that code for whiskey?
Hey, let me clue you in,
Exactly.
Eric. Most every presidential trip is a political trip. Okay, just so you understand.
Well, he doesn't have to pay
Especially
for it.
when you're
if
like
it's a
going
presidential
after
Tell
trip.
your story about choosing between
I
Republican
can't.
and Democrat.
We ran out of time.
Next block, maybe?
Yeah, maybe next.
All right, coming up, President Obama just doesn't get it. He's now comparing the Occupy Wall Street protests a couple of blocks away to the Tea Party. Good thing he'll be out of office soon enough. We'll be right back.
So don't tell me you might just let it